everyone, Tori here, and it's time for another interesting facts video, because good lord, it's been a while. Today we'll be looking into upcoming role-playing video game, Vampyr, set to be released in 2017 on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Windows. Being developed by Dontnod Entertainment, the same developers who gave us Life is Strange and a lesser known title called Remember Me, ironic I know, Vampyr will be set in London 1918, just after the First World War and as the horrific influenza pandemic makes its way through the city. You play as Jonathan Reid, a doctor and recently turned vampire who was bitten by a patient thought to have the flu. This transformation comes at a cost to Jonathan's psyche. While he still sees himself as an honourable man and a healer of the sick and wounded, he must now deal with his never-ending thirst for blood and the fact that he'll have to kill innocent people in order to sate this thirst. You can't just go around killing everyone in sight either. Doing so will have consequences on the story of Vampyr, much like the choices you made in Life is Strange. The city is split into various districts, and each district has its own score. The score will go up and down, depending on the health of the residents and how many end up being killed. Murder everybody, or allow the flu to wreak havoc, and you'll end up with a complete dead zone. So in between drinking human blood, why not make some medicine and hand it out to the sick? And while the humans of London are tasty beverages for Jonathan, keeping them alive will provide him with side quests and information that furthers the plot. So it's a constant balancing act of keeping Jonathan fit and fighting by feeding on the weak, and choosing to spare a life in order to gain valuable clues or items. Just like the vampires of books and film, Jonathan has certain limitations. For example, he is unable to enter a house unless invited. One of the ways to gain invitation is to talk to the relevant people and get them to trust you. During the E3 2016 demo of Vampyr, we see Jonathan talking to a man who informs him his son is sick with the flu. Seeing the boy as an easy meal who will die of the flu anyway, Jonathan tries to get the man to allow him access into his house, but the dude's having none of it and tells our protagonist to piss off. Luckily for Jonathan, he does have a few vampiric tricks up his sleeve to deal with situations like this. One of his abilities is called Mesmerize, which allows him to take control of the weak-minded. From here, he can either extract valuable information from his targets, or force the victim into a quieter area to make for an easy, inconspicuous kill. Unfortunately for the rude man, the player chooses the latter, and he meets a grisly end. Jonathan isn't limited to using vampiric abilities and his pointy fangs alone. He can also wield melee and range weapons to fill up his blood gauge and unleash more devastating attacks. A post on Sony's PlayStation blog, written by Vampyr game director Philippe Moreau, states, "From impaling enemies on a spike to draining them of blood at a distance, as Jonathan's blood gauge fills during a combat situation, his vampire affliction will start to overtake his more human side, unleashing destructive spells and abilities against those who try to stop him." Philippe also talked a little about the skill tree that will gradually unlock as you play, and the abilities that will become available from it. He states, "Jonathan is able to equip these abilities in any order, effectively allowing you to create your own archetypes to match your playstyle. Play aggressively and deal greater damage, or more securely, focusing on crowd control and keeping enemies at bay." Skills can be evolved two different ways. For example, Spring, a skill that allows you to rush instantly to a distant enemy, could be developed to either deal area of effect damage or grant temporary invincibility. The choice is yours. It's also your choice whether you go all in, guns blazing against a whole group of enemies, or take your time and utilise stealth to kill them one by one. But remember, as discussed earlier, killing too many people can and will have consequences on the story of Vampyr. And that's all I have for today. I hope you found this little video interesting and enlightening, and if you did, why not leave a like? If you'd like to see similar videos or check out something different on my channel, click on one of the thumbnails on the screen. And if you're not subscribed, why not? All you have to do is mouse over the owl button and hit subscribe. Simples! Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in whatever I play or talk about next. Bye bye!